Okay, so I've got kind of a creepy topic for my fourth blog. I actually sat here for a good maybe half an hour, maybe not half an hour, but a good 20 minutes trying to figure out, some kind of topic. I need to talk about something. I can't just talk about my day because my day was really lame. I mean, I went to work, I spent a lot of time in a chair typing stuff. It was lame. It was a really lame day. So I've been trying to figure out an interesting topic. And I came up with something that's a little bit controversial and a little bit creepy. So here goes nothing, I guess. For those of you who are watching, this isn't gonna be offensive. It's just creepy. Anyway, so my topic for today is death. I picked it not because I'm suicidal. Don't worry about that. Any of y'all watching this, I'm not suicidal. I picked it because I am scared shitless. I don't, because it's one of those things where nobody knows what happens. I mean, it's like you live for what, 70, 80, 90, 100 years if you're lucky. Like I said, one of my goals, make it to 100 years old. Be awesome. But you don't really know what comes after that. I mean, there were what, Egyptians like 5,000 years ago. They worshipped all these gods and you need all this stuff for the afterlife and all that. But is there an afterlife? I mean, it totally freaks me out when I watch movies with a lot of death, and maybe not like war movies and death, but like this creepy like thriller movies or the ones that like mess with your head. It gets me thinking, and then I'm literally up all night because I'm wondering, what happens when you die? Is this it? I mean, are we here for our however many years and then we're just like we die and we go into like the eternal void, the eternal blackout, and that's it? It's over? Or I mean, because I'm not really religious. I'm not really sure what I believe. So I don't know if like I don't know, if I were religious, I'd be convinced that there's a heaven and a hell, if I'm, a good person, I'll go to heaven and be forever peaceful and look down on my loved ones and all that. But if, I'm a bad person, you go to hell, do everything right. But then of course this like super religious people say, God forgives everybody's sins and everybody goes to heaven, and no matter what kind of person you are in the end, you will be forgiven. That's crap. If you're a serial killer and there isn't a heaven and a hell, you're going straight to hell. Just you are. I mean, I don't care what anybody says. God forgives everything. Yeah, he can forgive you while you're in hell for the rest of eternity. Okay? Um, but yeah, I don't know what I believe. And it's something within like that I've gotten really nervous about the past few years, just out of no place. Um, I'm sure part of it is that I've watched too many horror movies, and that I've done too much research about it. I mean, in high school, I was scared of ghosts. I never saw one. I never had any proof that there was a ghost. I was scared of ghosts. And I don't know why. And I think it's just like, especially over the past year, it's just totally escalated. I mean, I've picked up books. I have a couple here. I picked this one up. This one's Strange Deaths. Actually, it's not really anything about like, what happens after you die. It's just like, ooh. It's just stupid ways that people die. A clown is driving to his show, birthday party, whatever, and he has a blow up thing in the back of his car. His blow up thing blows up and smushes him in the car. It's that kind of stuff, like stupid ways that people die. It's a little bit funny. But I do have this one here. It's called Do Dead People Watch You Shower? It's questions that you want to ask a medium. And mediums are those people who can apparently, talk to the dead. You call them psychics, whatever you want to call them. They're like politically correct. They're called a medium because they're like right in the middle. They're a medium. Um, and I read through it and it says, that the rest of eternity, people are looking down on you and they look at you like, people start to think, oh my God, is my great grandmother, watching me have sex, and oh my God, are they gonna shun me forever and hate me? And it says in the book that, no, they look at you the same way they would look at, I guess, a dog. I mean, okay, they look at you better than that because they love you and all that. But they look at you as in like that's human nature. It's totally normal. They don't look at you as anything bad. Everything you do, picking your nose, having bad gas, you know, having 6 one-night stands in one night. All of that, according to this book and the mediums and all those people, is considered to be normal in, you know, the soul's eyes or the ghost or whatever you want to call it in the dead. Um, so, I mean, in that way, it almost makes me feel better because it's like, you know, I'll be looking down on people. But at the same time, there's the people that don't believe that anything happens. You have your life and you die and that's it. And I don't really don't want to believe that, but I just don't know. It's scary. I mean, is this it? Honestly, or is there what if there's like a next life? What if I've had like what if I've been having lives? You know, I was born as like a molecule when the earth was put together and then I died and I became a, you know, a pterodactyl and I flew around the earth with the dinosaurs and then, you know, some time passes and I'm a caveman and, you know, ugh, mine, you know, fire. And then more time passes and I become an Egyptian, and then more time passes and I become like a Roman, and I'm one of those, you know, and then even more time passes and let's say I died in the 50s sometime, you know, 1950s. And what if all these things that like interest me of the past, the reason they interest me is because I was there and I just don't know it. What if, you know, there is such a thing as past lives and future lives, and that would be awesome to me, you know, just knowing. I guess you'll never know, but knowing that there is a next life, you know, you die and then later on you start as something new. Let's say I'm a cat in my next life. Let's say, you know, I'm, you know, a bum living on the street with AIDS in my next life. And then after that, if it's miserable, you go on to the next one. But I would say if it were up to me, you would only be allowed to commit suicide so many times because that would prove then that you're not grateful to have your life. So if you're going to commit suicide just to go to the next life, then eventually you're just done and it's all over with and you don't get to play that game anymore. That would be my rules if I were in charge. Um that would be preferable to me. Or what if, you know, I don't know, I just can't imagine not being here. I can't imagine, you know, not waking up every morning. I can't imagine that, you know, I'm not like odds are I will not be here when the year 2100 comes around. If I am, I'll be what 111 years old. I mean, chances are good that I won't be here. And that freaks me out. I mean, what do you I want to get some opinions. What do you think of it? What do you think happens? I mean, if you're super religious, that's great. I'm happy for you, but don't come on here and preach to me that I'm going to go to heaven or I'm going to go to hell or any of that because I don't want anybody to preach. I want genuine opinions because this is something that freaks me out. I've literally had countless sleepless nights freaking myself out over this. So, I don't know. Just if you have any opinions or anything like that, I'd be really interested in hearing it or reading it or whatever it is, just because it's such a weird topic. It's not something that people ever talk about, although everyone eventually dies. But nobody ever wants to talk about it until, you know, you're this close to death. Then you start thinking about it, or you're at peace with it. How can you be at peace with it if it's over? I don't get it. Just somebody else let me know what you think. And maybe calm me down a little bit because I'm really sick of not sleeping at least once a week because of this crap. All right, let me know.